I had few seconds to decide if I would rather die or get kidnapped. And I chose to die. And he ran away. He got scared that he killed me. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Story time. I want to tell you how I almost got kidnapped and how I survived from it. It's a really exciting story, and how I survived, how I managed to get out of the situation. It's literally insane, so do what you want with this information. The story belongs to the time that I was 18 and I was in first semester in uni. Back then I was in another country and I wasn't really familiar with the routes and everything, so it was first semester as well. I wasn't used to how to go there, how to come back to my dorm. I was living in university apartments, so I wasn't really familiar how to go there, how to come back. It was my first days, first semester. I can remember the last class took so long and it was winter and the weather was completely dark by the time I finished, so I was a bit like stressed out. How can I get a taxi? How can I manage to get to the dorm? The university apartments had a time limit, that you can't just go there 24/7. So everyone should be back at a certain time. If you're late, you can't go to the apartment. You should just figure this out. So like you can't go inside after a certain time. And I didn't know like what time was it exactly, so I was a bit worried. It was my first days and I was really like stressed out trying to figure out like how I can get there, if I can manage to be on time, if it's too late or no. So instead of just ordering a taxi from the public transportation, like the registered taxi, there was just a random taxi coming, and they were asking me if I'm going to this way, like straight to this highway, and I was like, yeah, I'm going there. And he was like, yeah, I'm going there, so I can take you. And then I was looking at the time, I was checking the time, it was getting quite late, and it was cold, it was winter, so I was literally freezing. I didn't have proper clothes because I came out during the day, so I wasn't expecting to stay out that long, and it was freezing, and I wasn't thinking of anything, and that was my biggest mistake. I accepted to go with a driver that is not registered with the taxi. Anyways, I got in and started driving to the direction, and I gave him the direction, and he asked me, oh, like, you're a university student? And I was like, yes. And he was like, yeah, what are you studying? And I told him that I study art, and just being polite and like a normal conversation. Then uh, then he didn't say anything after. He was quite silent after. And then I was checking the routes and it was pitch dark. And I checked the route that he was going to, a direction that is not my main direction. So I was like, what's going on? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe like maybe I'm just too tired. I don't know. Like maybe because I'm really bad with directions, to be honest, as well. So I didn't say anything. As far as it goes, like I see my surroundings, like this is not familiar. Okay, I'm bad with directions, but this is not familiar. Well, I checked my phone, I put Google Map on, I was like, okay, you're going clearly to the opposite direction. And guess how I'm feeling now at this moment? So I'm like, okay, he's kidnapping me. I waited. I waited to make sure. And I saw that he was looking at me in the mirror in a creepy way. That's just obvious now at this point. Like if you're a girl and you will know. If you know, you know. So I knew what's going on. And guess what? I didn't have anyone to save me. Like I literally had no one in that city. I couldn't do anything. It was my first semester, first days of uni. I didn't even have a friend to send this to, like to call or like to send a text saying I'm being kidnapped. I know they can't do anything at the end of the day, but I just didn't know anyone and unexperienced. So I didn't know much. I didn't know what I should do. Longest story short, I knew something is off. I knew what's gonna happen. I knew that he's trying to kidnap me. And I realized that I'm screwed up because I got into unregistered taxi, which is like, if something happens to me, no one can even realize. So, guess what happened after? Did they scream? No. Did they start shouting? No. Did I even tell him that you're going to the wrong direction? No. Did I say you're kidnapping me? No. Because in my head, My thought process was, if I tell this guy right now, okay, I know he's going to the wrong direction, and I know he knows as well. Like, come on, like, this is the opposite direction. I'm telling you I'm going this way, you're going this way. So you know where you're going, and I know where you're going. So what's the point if I tell him that you're going to the wrong direction? He knows what he's doing. What's gonna happen if I tell him? He's just gonna realize that I realized, and then he probably gonna lock the door. Or he's probably gonna do something. I don't know, like, just be more defensive. He's probably gonna take out a knife or something and just threaten me with it to just shut up till like he can kidnap me. I was scared. But I was like, okay, what can we do now? Can we panic and just shut down and just freeze? I mean, like, that won't solve anything. No one is gonna save me here. Or can we just start screaming? No, that won't solve anything. Can we start beating him up? We cannot. He's a man. Realistically, I couldn't do anything to him. So my only option was to just get out of the car. Where were we? We were in the street going super fast. My only option is to get out of the car. But how can I get out of the car? Again, it was pitch dark. Outside, there was barely anyone passing. It was empty. I was going to the wrong road. No one was there. But I managed to stay calm somehow. So proud of myself for that. As far as he was driving, I was thinking that I'm losing more time and more chances to escape. Because any moment, any second that he would realize that I'm freaking out, and I realized everything would change. Like, he would just start threatening me or whatever directly. But we were not on that point yet. So probably he was thinking in his mind if I realized that he was going the wrong way or no. So he didn't know that. He didn't know that yet. So I was like, okay, the only thing that I need to figure out is if the child lock is on or no. And I couldn't figure it out from the car. I couldn't. The car wasn't the type that shows there is like a child lock or something. I checked everything. It's a huge risk if I try to open the door and the door doesn't open. So if I open the door trying to jump out of the car and then it's locked, then he's gonna realize that I know, and then everything would flip out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what he's gonna do if he realizes that I'm trying to escape, you know? But we were not there yet. We were just at the state that, okay, I'm just innocently sitting there waiting to arrive to my university apartment. So I was just there. As we were going, I was thinking in my head how much of a damage I would cause to myself if I jump out of the car. Will I die if I jump out of the car? Will I just break a bone or nothing? I was just looking at my surroundings, trying to be so casually, like looking everywhere. If I jump out, something serious might happen to me. Then my thought process was, okay, listen, imagine if you jump, 50% you're gonna die. Are you willing to do that still? And I was like, okay, but if I don't jump, I don't know what's gonna happen. So obviously I preferred to have something certain at least than having something uncertain. If I jump out, 50% chance that I'm gonna survive, at least. As I said, I was worried about the lock as well. I was like, okay, if I open it and it's locked, I have no seconds. He might just suddenly pull out a knife or something, or like, I don't know, a gun or something, and start threatening me with it. So I freaked out. I was like, okay, how can I manage? What I did was just kind of casually state that, I feel so nauseous, and try to open the windows. Okay, at least the windows down. Instead of opening the door from inside, which might go wrong and it might be locked, I'll try and open it from outside in a second. So I have to be as quick as possible, because if it's locked inside, then I don't know what's gonna happen. I might not have that much time to try from outside. So the car slowed down somewhere to take a U-turn. When it slowed down a little bit, I had few seconds to decide if I would rather die or get kidnapped. He was taking a U-turn, so the car was a bit slowed down. I had a few seconds to decide if I would rather get kidnapped or I would rather die. And I I chose to die. Uncertainty is always worse than certainty. Wouldn't recommend this to anyone. I'm just sharing my own story. I got lucky. I opened the door from outside in a second, jumped out of the car, trying to land on my hands and take care of my face. I got so lucky, that the way I landed, I just hurt my knees so badly, like horrible scratches. I hurt my hand, which I still have the scratches, only on my hand. Main pressure was on my knees and my hands. Luckily, I didn't break a bone, but it all depends of your luck and the car speed as well, and how you land. So I got lucky. I was ready to break bones and literally have anything. I was ready for death, everything, because I was like, okay, that's so stupid. You wanna jump out from a car which is moving. This story doesn't finish here. The most interesting part is the last part. After I jumped out of the car, that's the most interesting part. He stopped the car. He stopped the car. He came out. Imagine how I was feeling. I was bleeding from my hands, from my knees, and I was wearing white clothes, and it was all blood on my clothes, and heard his steps coming towards me. I was freaking out, and it was cold. It was cold. And I was on the ground bleeding, like my whole body was shaking, and I heard his steps coming to me. I had a few seconds again to decide what am I gonna do. Do I have the energy to get up and run away? Run away to where? It was in the middle of nowhere. There was literally no light around. I calculated in my head, if I am able to get up and run somewhere, or like just scream or do whatever, but I realized that this is gonna be useless because no one is around. Like when I was looking at the surroundings before jumping, I calculated that there is nothing, no one around. I can't try scream to get anyone's attention. There was no car passing. It was in the middle of nowhere. So not screaming, not trying to escape, nothing would work. So what did I do? I played dead. I literally played dead. I acted like I passed out. I decided not to move and not to breathe. I know that sounds stupid. That was the best I could do at the moment. Because if I would move, whatever, who knows what's gonna happen. But I decided to scare him off by acting dead. If he would check my heart, maybe he would realize obviously that I'm not dead. I guess he was just as scared as I was, because he probably wanted to kidnap someone, but he didn't want to kill someone. And I jumped out of the car, and he didn't expect me to still be alive. So he came out of the car to just check on me, see if I'm alive or no. And I realized that because I wasn't breathing, how I was holding my breath inside, trying not to move my chest. So it won't be visible. If he doesn't get close to me, it won't be visible that I'm not dead. So I was just laying there trying not to breathe as much as I can. I guess he thought I'm dead. That's a defensive mechanism that some animals do, by the way, like rabbits, to just avoid predators to take them. So that was the only thing I could do at the moment. Like, you can't scream, you can't run away, you can't do anything. So that was literally all I could do. I played dead, and he went back to his car and he ran away. He ran away. He got scared that he killed me. Anything that it was probably not worth it for him to involve himself in a death case. So I guess that was the case. When he left, after a couple of minutes, I started moving to check myself out with my phone, with my flashlight, to check if my phone was also cracked, and it was a horrible situation. I didn't have that much battery. I was just checking myself out, seeing like how much of a damage I caused to myself, and it was hurting so much. I was bleeding, so I was freaking out. It was showing way more than it is because of the blood, and it was dark there, so I was really scared. I would never recommend this to anyone though. I would never recommend this to anyone to do that. Never. Because it's so risky. That is going to be one of my options forever. Because I just can't sit there and wait to get kidnapped. If there is any other way, I would do, but this stupid move as well is one of the options. I tried to find my way to the apartment and I checked my Google map trying to find the location, and I started walking a long distance. I don't know how many kilometers I walked with that wound, with that scratches, with that wound, with all that blood on my clothes. I don't know how many kilometers did I walk toward the destination, because I was in the middle of nowhere. There was no car, nothing. So I walked a lot, and then I reached to my apartment, and then I went there. Then I learned my lesson. This was one of the biggest lessons that I learned in my early 18. So and before, when I was speaking about it, I was panicking and I was so uncomfortable talking about it, but now it's okay. Like, I just take it as a lesson. I just take it as a luck that I didn't hurt myself that much, and scratches will go away, all the wounds will go away. They just leave the scars for us to learn, for us to never forget the lessons that we have learned. I'm glad I could share my story here with some of you. I hope you just take it as a sign to be more careful, especially if you're young, if you're new in a city, if you're new in a country. Just be extra careful about your surroundings and just see everything coming from everyone. Just don't trust anyone and never get into unregistered taxis. And that's it. I hope you never get to use any of the informations in this video, but this is life. You always need to be prepared. Hope you enjoyed my video today. If you like my content, please hit the like and subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. Take care till the next one.